What if I told you that Caryn Chandler may have been hiding a $5 million heist right under everyone's noses, and Amy Roloff just exposed the truth with a secret letter? That's right, the Roloff family drama has taken a shocking turn, one that could completely change the way fans see Caryn, Matt, and the entire Little People, Big World legacy. For years, fans have watched the highs and lows of Roloff farms, the family feuds, and the complicated relationships that never seem to heal. But now, whispers of a massive hidden money trail are sparking chaos behind the scenes, and the evidence may have finally surfaced in the form of a letter Amy herself is said to have revealed. Could Caryn really be behind a $5 million scheme? Was Matt left in the dark about her dealings? And what role does Amy play in blowing the lid off this alleged heist that could destroy Caryn's image forever? In the next hour, we'll uncover the shocking claims tied to Caryn's alleged secret, Amy's explosive move, and how Zach, Tori, and the rest of the Roloffs may be caught in the crossfire. The story isn't just about money. It's about trust, betrayal, and the fragile bonds that hold this famous family together. Hello, viewers. Welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The drama reached a boiling point when whispers began to spread about a mysterious letter, a document that, according to those close to the Roloff circle, could unravel everything Caryn Chandler has tried to keep hidden. This wasn't just any letter. It was said to have been tucked away in a stack of old farm papers, stumbled upon by none other than Amy Roloff herself. For years, Amy has remained vocal about her unease with Caryn's growing influence over Matt and the farm, but now, this letter may finally give her the proof she never had. So, how did it come to light? Reports suggest Amy was organizing old paperwork tied to the farm's partial sale, documents she had held onto long after she walked away from her stake in Roloff Farms. Buried among financial agreements and land titles, Amy is said to have uncovered correspondence that directly referenced undisclosed investors and money trails connected to Caryn. The letter hinted at a backroom arrangement worth nearly $5 million, a staggering figure that, if true, could explain why Caryn has been painted as the quiet power broker behind Roloff Farms' shifting fortunes. For fans, the theories exploded almost instantly. Was Caryn secretly brokering land deals behind Matt's back? Did she leverage outside investors to try and gain control of the farm? Some even speculate the letter may reveal Caryn pushed Matt into financial decisions he never would have made on his own. One particularly popular fan theory points to Caryn's ties with developers in Oregon, raising the possibility that she had been preparing the land for a sell-off or subdivision long before Matt even considered it. But what makes this revelation cut even deeper is who discovered it. Amy Roloff, the woman who once built her life, her family, and her marriage on that very farm, is now at the center of exposing Caryn's alleged scheme. It's not just financial, it's personal. Amy lived through the bitter divorce with Matt, watched him move forward with Caryn, and endured the endless tension between her family and her ex's new partner. For Amy to be the one to pull the thread that could unravel Caryn's $5 million secret adds an emotional weight no one can ignore. Fans online have described it as poetic justice. After years of feeling that Amy was sidelined, perhaps even dismissed as overly critical of Caryn, she's now in the position of holding the one piece of evidence that could shift public opinion entirely. To some, it feels like vindication, proof that Amy's instincts about Caryn were always right. To others, it raises questions. Is Amy simply exposing the truth? Or is this a move born out of old wounds and lingering resentment? What no one can deny is this: the letter changes everything. As the spotlight turns directly onto Caryn, the question everyone is asking is simple: how does a $5 million scheme even connect to Roloff Farms and the Roloff family? The whispers suggest that Caryn may have been at the center of secret sales, hidden accounts, and questionable financial maneuvers that, if true, could reshape the legacy of the Roloff name. Some claims point to possible undisclosed land deals. While Roloff Farms has been the family jewel for decades, multiple reports have hinted at private meetings with investors and developers. Could Caryn have facilitated side agreements, without Matt or the Roloff children fully aware, designed to siphon off profits into hidden accounts? Others go further, suggesting fraudulent practices involving shell companies tied back to her. What makes this even more complex is Caryn's position within the Roloff world. For years, she wasn't just Matt's partner, she was also a longtime Roloff Farms employee. That gave her insider knowledge of operations, finances, and the farm's weak spots. She was trusted with scheduling, finances, and event coordination. Over time, that kind of access could make it all too easy to manipulate figures, redirect money, or bury paper trails. And then there's Matt himself. Known for his visionary but sometimes overly trusting personality, Matt may have overlooked red flags. He's been open about how much he relies on Caryn's support, but that trust may have created blind spots. Was Caryn simply a supportive partner keeping things afloat, or did she take advantage of Matt's vulnerability and ambition? Fans are debating whether Matt was manipulated or whether he knowingly ignored the warning signs. The online reaction has been deeply divided. Some fans defend Caryn, calling her a savvy businesswoman who has every right to secure her future after dedicating so many years to the farm. They argue that her actions, if true, were simply smart moves in a cutthroat world. On the other side, critics accuse her of betrayal, painting her as someone who preyed on Matt's trust and the Roloff family legacy for personal gain. Social media threads are flooded with comments like, "Caryn knew exactly what she was doing, and she's no victim here." Others counter with, "Matt wouldn't have survived the farm without Caryn's support. Stop blaming her." This battle of perception has now turned Caryn into one of the most polarizing figures in the Roloff universe. Whether she's exposed as a mastermind or misunderstood as a scapegoat, one thing is clear. The alleged $5 million heist has put her at the center of a storm that may be impossible to escape. The tension between Amy Roloff and Caryn Chandler has never been subtle, but this alleged $5 million heist and the mysterious letter have pushed their rivalry to an explosive new level. Amy, who spent decades building Roloff Farms alongside Matt, feels a sense of betrayal that cuts far deeper than money. For her, the farm isn't just acres of land or pumpkin season profits, it's her family's legacy. Fans are noting that Caryn's alleged involvement in hidden deals could be seen as undermining everything Amy fought to preserve. Caryn, on the other hand, is fighting for her own reputation. To her supporters, she's been unfairly cast as the villain in a family drama that was brewing long before she ever entered the picture. But to Amy's fans, Caryn symbolizes the shift of Roloff Farms away from family values and towards secrecy, profit, and personal gain. The clash isn't just about numbers on a balance sheet. It's about who owns the narrative of Roloff history. Inside the Roloff family, the scandal has drawn sharp lines. Zach and Tori, already distant from the farm, appear to side with Amy. Their social media silence on the farm's future speaks volumes. Many fans interpret it as quiet disapproval of Caryn's influence. Jeremy and Audrey, meanwhile, are in a complicated position. Their long-standing frustration over being shut out of buying the farm resurfaces here, and some speculate they see Amy's exposé as validation of their earlier warnings about how the farm was being managed. From TLC's perspective, this is the kind of drama that could reinvigorate Little People, Big World. A storyline weaving together betrayal, money, and family conflict has the potential to dominate an entire season. Producers may see Amy's secret letter as a smoking gun that adds reality TV gold to a show that has, at times, struggled to stay fresh in the eyes of viewers. If handled carefully, this could become the most compelling arc since the divorce of Matt and Amy. A key question, though, is credibility. Fans overwhelmingly lean toward Amy's side, largely because of her history with the farm and her reputation for being straightforward. Over the years, she's shared both her vulnerabilities and her triumphs with the audience, earning trust in ways Caryn never fully has. When Amy speaks about betrayal, people listen and believe her. This credibility gap makes it even harder for Caryn to push back against the wave of suspicion surrounding her. But what hangs in the balance is bigger than Amy and Caryn. It's Roloff Farms itself. If the accusations of financial misconduct gain traction, the farm could face lawsuits, force sales, or even collapse under the weight of scandal. For fans, the thought of Roloff Farms, once the heart of pumpkin season joy, becoming a casualty of greed is devastating. Some are already asking, could this mark the end of Roloff Farms as we know it? As we come to the end of this roller coaster story, it's impossible to ignore the gravity of Amy's explosive letter and the firestorm it has unleashed. That single piece of paper, a revelation of hidden deals, secret accounts, and alleged betrayals, has forced fans and family members alike to confront questions they never thought they'd ask. At the heart of it all lies the alleged $5 million heist tied to Caryn Chandler. If these claims are true, it doesn't just mean financial loss. It means a staggering breach of trust within one of reality TV's most iconic families. Roloff Farms, once a symbol of unity and legacy, now stands as the backdrop of suspicion and division. But here's the lingering question. Is Caryn truly guilty of orchestrating a betrayal of this scale, or has she simply become the scapegoat in a family where old wounds never really healed? Fans remain deeply divided, some pointing to years of strained dynamics as proof, while others believe Amy's letter might be fueled more by resentment than reality. What we do know is this: the Roloff family story has once again shifted in a dramatic way. The farm's future, the family's reputation, and even the continuation of Little People, Big World may all hinge on what comes next. At the end of the day, secrets never stay buried forever, and Amy's revelation may have just changed everything. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. What if I told you the Roloff family's long-buried tensions have just exploded into the open, all because of a secret letter? At the center of it all is Caryn Chandler, accused of orchestrating a shocking $5 million heist. But here's the twist. It wasn't Matt, Zach, or Jeremy who uncovered the truth. It was Amy Roloff, and the revelation has left fans stunned, Matt blindsided, and Caryn scrambling to defend herself. Now, this isn't just another family feud. This is the kind of revelation that could shake the very foundation of Roloff Farms, the family's legacy, and even the future of Little People, Big World. Fans who've followed the Roloffs for nearly 2 decades know the farm isn't just land. It's history, identity, and the source of some of the biggest battles the family has ever faced. So when Amy, Matt's ex-wife and the matriarch of the Roloff family, steps forward with a letter that allegedly exposes Caryn's involvement in a multi-million-dollar scheme, it's not just shocking, it's explosive. Questions immediately surface. How long has Caryn been hiding this? Did Matt have any clue? And most importantly, what does this mean for the family's already fragile relationships? In today's deep dive, we're unpacking every detail of this scandal. We'll break down exactly what Amy discovered in that mysterious letter, the accusations swirling around Caryn, and the fallout that's already rippling through the Roloff family. You'll hear how fans are reacting online, why some believe Amy without question, and why others think this might just be the biggest misunderstanding in the family's history. Buckle up, because this isn't just about money. It's about trust, betrayal, and the kind of secrets that can tear a family apart. And by the end of this video, you might just see the Roloffs in a way you never have before. The letter itself, while never publicly released in full, is said to contain names, dates, and figures that immediately raised red flags for Amy. To the untrained eye, it might look like just another piece of paperwork, but for someone who lived through years of Roloff family financial battles, Amy allegedly knew exactly what she was looking at. She recognized inconsistencies, questionable transfers, and backroom arrangements that didn't quite match the official story fans had been told over the years. What made the discovery even more explosive is the implication that this wasn't a one-time mistake. If fan theories are true, the letter outlined a consistent pattern: money shifting through channels that bypassed other family members, investments signed off without transparency, and possibly even land deals that were never meant to see the light of day. For many fans, this turned Amy from a bystander into the whistleblower. After all, who else in the Roloff orbit could bring such a revelation to the surface? Her history with the farm, her years of being sidelined during Matt and Caryn's rise, and her reputation for being straightforward made her the perfect person to pull back the curtain. And that's where things get truly complicated, because if Amy's interpretation of the letter is correct, then Caryn isn't just a controversial partner. she could be at the center of a financial storm that risks rewriting everything fans thought they knew about Roloff Farms. At the heart of the scandal is what fans are now dubbing Caryn's $5 million heist. The whispers began when documents and speculation started circulating online, pointing toward financial maneuvers that seemed far from ordinary farm bookkeeping. Instead, the picture painted was of a carefully executed plan, one where Caryn allegedly orchestrated a series of deals that ultimately funneled millions away from Roloff Farms and into private hands. For years, Roloff Farms has stood as a symbol of family, tradition, and hard work. But what if, behind the pumpkin patch smiles and camera-ready scenes, Caryn was quietly treating it less as a legacy and more as a business asset she could bend to her advantage? That's exactly the claim, that Caryn positioned herself in ways that allowed her to access revenue streams Matt may not have even been aware of. Some fans allege it wasn't just about the farm's income, but also about land appraisals, potential investor interest, and off-the-record sales that could add up to staggering amounts. Of course, the most controversial part of this theory is Matt's role. His trust in Caryn has always been undeniable on screen, from handing her managerial duties at the farm to allowing her input in financial conversations. But did that trust blind him to what was really happening? Was Matt, known for his ambitious projects and sometimes scattered focus, simply too caught up in his own vision to notice if Caryn had a different agenda? Supporters of Caryn argue the opposite. To them, she's always been unfairly targeted because she stepped into Amy's old role beside Matt. They claim she's a savvy businesswoman, not a schemer, and that her choices were about protecting Matt's interests, not exploiting them. In this view, the $5 million heist is nothing more than a dramatic fan theory fueled by jealousy and long-standing resentment. Critics, however, aren't so forgiving. They see these alleged maneuvers as proof that Caryn was never in it purely for love. To them, her partnership with Matt has always had financial undertones, and this alleged heist is the smoking gun. They argue that Caryn's presence coincided with a shift in how Roloff Farms was run, less family-driven, more profit-driven, and that this was no coincidence. As the debate rages on, one thing is clear: the $5 million figure has become a lightning rod for fans and critics alike. Was it a clever strategy misunderstood? Or was it, as some put it, the ultimate betrayal of trust, hidden behind the veil of romance and partnership? The fallout has been nothing short of explosive. For years, fans knew that Amy and Caryn were never going to be best friends, but this latest scandal has turned a quiet rivalry into an all-out war. At the heart of it is not just a letter, not just a claim of millions gone missing, but a much bigger question: who truly has the right to shape the future of the Roloff legacy? For Amy, stepping forward with the letter was not about stirring up drama or revenge. In her eyes, this was about defending the farm that she and Matt built together from the ground up. She sees Caryn's alleged maneuvering as more than just shady business. She sees it as a threat to everything the Roloffs stood for. Amy has said before that the farm was meant for the kids, a generational home, not a chess piece in someone else's financial game. By exposing Caryn, Amy is making a statement. The Roloff name and legacy are not for sale. But of course, this is where the fractures deepen. Zach and Tori, who have long kept their distance from the farm, might now feel a twisted sense of validation. After all, Zach has said time and time again that negotiations with his father were unfair and that the farm became more of a business deal than a family dream. Now, with Amy's revelations, it seems like Zach and Tori's choice to walk away might have been the wisest move of all. Then there's Jeremy and Audrey. Once eager to buy part of Roloff Farms, their failed attempts to make the dream happen left them bitter and on the outside looking in. Now, with claims of mishandled millions swirling around Caryn, insiders say Jeremy and Audrey are furious. Imagine thinking you were shut out of a legacy only to learn later that money was being hidden, shifted, or controlled in ways no one fully understood. For them, this scandal isn't just frustrating, it's personal. And of course, hovering in the background are the TLC producers, who must be seeing this storm of family drama as ratings gold. Think about it. Betrayal, money, legacy, and explosive family confrontations. It's the kind of storyline reality TV thrives on. Fans are already speculating online. Will TLC pivot the entire next season to follow this letter scandal? Will Amy and Caryn finally have the face-to-face showdown fans have been waiting for? But while TV cameras might profit, the Roloffs themselves are left broken. Fans overwhelmingly side with Amy, praising her bravery in coming forward and painting her as the true protector of the Roloff name. Still, others can't help but question whether Amy's actions were purely about justice, or if they were fueled by years of pent-up resentment toward Caryn, Matt's partner, and now the woman in control of the farm she once called home. The truth may lie somewhere in the middle. Regardless of motive, the damage is real. The Roloff family is fractured in a way that feels deeper, darker, and more permanent than anything that came before. And this time, it may not just be about mending fences. It could be about survival. As the dust begins to settle, one thing is undeniable. The Roloff family legacy may never be the same. Amy's secret letter has ignited a storm, placing Caryn at the center of an alleged $5 million scandal. But the question remains, was Caryn truly guilty of betrayal, or has Amy merely reopened old wounds to settle a personal score? The answer may only come with time and possibly future court filings. At the end of the day, secrets never stay buried forever, and Amy's revelation may have just changed everything. Thanks for watching, and until next time.